Welcome back to Where Blades Warp. Hope you've had a good rest. It's been a great Christmas and New Year so far for the Blades until, of course, we ran into Mansfield this afternoon. Lots of commentary to get through. Blade here says Luke Faxon can't be worse than Adam Davis. Hyder says never play Chong or Davis ever again, please, and get Arblaster back to the under-21s. Miles off it. Lots of thoughts and opinions to get through. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. Hope you're well. Great to have your company back with us as we continue to grow. Where Blades Walk, 20 minutes of Sheffield United chat. We've got Shax, Dan and Connor back from their rests as well. Hope you're all good, lads. How are we doing?
Yeah, not bad, thanks.
All right, let's jump into it. Right then, Shax. The Christmas hasn't been too bad at all, has it? Some decent results. You're the league's top scorers in the Championship in December, and if we look at the table now, 32 points. We look at the gap between yourselves and the playoffs. Dare we talk about the P word? It is now only 6 points. 9 points, which is entirely doable, isn't it?
It is, yeah, provided we don't chuck a Wrexham in there when we just felt a bit for the second half. I still think we're a bit shaky at back, and I think that's what will cost us a playoff spot. I don't think we'll finish in playoffs. I think we're heading in the right direction, but I think with Bamford coming in, Cannon chipping in, Aware chipping in with goals, I don't think the top end of the pitch is the problem anymore. I think it's the other end. And we have had a few clean sheets, don't get me wrong, but I still think as goals against tally is what will cost us a playoff spot.
Okay. Got lots of transfer stuff to talk about as well, so let's jump straight into it. Dan, let's get the FA Cup bit out of the way then, shall we? What happened there for you?
Not interested in FA Cup at all. Really not. I mean, there was something come out this week about Harrison Burrows to a Turkish club. I mean, what time's flight? Because I'll go with him. You know, I think defensively he's absolutely poor and offered us. Well, I don't think he's offered as much this season, really. So when we're going to come out and have a go at players, let's have a go at players who deserve it, and he's one. He's been truly awful today, but let's look at the positive through Christmas. We've had some good results apart from the Wrexham game, like Shaq says. But I think the playoffs are too far. We're too far off. I think we concede too many goals, and you know it proved today who our best centre halves are, or our best centre half is, and that's Tanganga. Because I mean that was just a calamity all across. But yeah, I think you know if we can put a good run together. That's the most difficult thing, getting the 4 and 5 wins on the spin. The sides up there are inconsistent, a bit like ourselves. I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, we'll see what happens. But going on today, I'm not particularly bothered about the cup. We're not going to do out in it. I'd rather just try and do all right in league if we can.
Okay. Connor, are you bothered? And if you are, then who's to blame for this exit?
I wouldn't say I'm bothered about the cup itself. Obviously, league's the most important thing, and the way we've been performing, we just want to get ourselves fully away from that relegation zone and just know I'll be happy with a mid-table finish, me. But in terms of with the entire team, there weren't a good player in that team today, from defence to attack. I mean, I think it's shown Danny Ings and Tyrese Campbell are our worst 2 strikers, and there's a reason why they played today. Same as rest of the team. I think a few of them you can't be as harsh on. Blaster, I mean, he's still coming back. You've got to give him time. He's been out for more than a year. Some players don't come back from injuries like that. So just having him back is good. So I think people need to get off his back a bit. Ben Mee, again, I think he's a really good player. Again, he's been out for I don't know how many weeks. And I think Mark McGuinness can make anyone look bad when you play at side of him. It's just the entire team for me. There's a reason why them not played today, and it's because they're not getting in first team. And while they were hoping, maybe 1 or 2 of them had give him a bit of an headache in terms of next team selection in next match. And I think that's just made it a lot more easier. And he probably knows he's starting 11 for next week already. I don't really want to blame specific players. It was just a bad team performance overall. I fully expected us to go and lose to a lower league side. We always seem to do it. We did it against Barnet in 2019, and they were non-league at times. So It didn't surprise me. I sort of expected it coming with 10 changes. So it always bothers me us losing a game, but I'd rather us have done it in Cup than go and do it at Charlton next week.
Shaq's quick word on the goalkeeper.
I can't set word on goalkeeper, but he's awful. He's awful. We know he's awful. But like Connor said, you can't jump on one player. They're all crap. Arblaster, yeah, he's come back from an injury. Woeful, absolutely terrible. Blowing out of his arse after 10 minutes. He should be getting his fitness in under 23s, not in 13 championship and cup games for me. But that's my opinion. I genuinely thought he was dreadful. Chong, not for me. Burrows, like Dan mentioned, both me and McGuinness, awful. McGuinness is McGuinness. He's big, he's slow. Me, he was terrible. He might be a good player, whatever. He was shocking today. Right back looked like a right back that's not played football for a long time. Kijani, or whatever he's called. Tyrese Campbell, dreadful. Danny Ings, just retire. Who else? Who have I missed? I don't mind Samar, whatever he's called, at Middle of Park. I think he adds a bit of energy. I think he's a decent player. Again, going back to what Dan said, all they've done today is prove that Bindon, and I'm going to say Bindon as well because he gets a bit of criticism, Bindon and Tanganga, or Tanganga and Bindon, they're his best two centre-halves by a country mile. We need Peck back to take over from what Arblaster's doing. Bamford and, dare I say, Cannon, I've not been his biggest fan. They've all got to be playing in front of that lot that we saw today because, like Connor says, I don't care about losing in Cup, but I do care about losing a game of football and how you lose it. And that today was just, when you've got Mansfield, every time they're going forward looking like they're going to score, that's not acceptable for me.
Let's turn the clock back a little bit further. Then last time I saw you, it was before Christmas. So let's just have a quick chat about some of the things that have come out of the club since that time. First of all, Dan, the win against Leicester and the win against Stoke set you on a good way to head to New Year, with Tom Cannon shining in both those games. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's been another player that's been subject of a bit of, quite a bit of negativity, maybe rightly so, but I think he's always had it in there, hasn't he? And I think at the moment he's stepping up and, as Shax has just said, becoming an easy pick into the team with Patrick Bamford. So, yeah, some good positive performances. That's what I want to look at going forward, the league games. Can we push on? Connor's right. You always want to win games. You always want to win games, regardless of what competition it is. But that's if it's going to happen, it's going to happen today. But we've got to remember that where we are is because of the decision, and I keep going back to it. The decision the board made in the summer, because now he's got to get players out. He's got to bring players in, which he's not going to be able to do it all this window. It's going to have to be, summer again. So there's going to have to be a bit of patience, a bit of time, because, in my opinion, if he's manager at the start of this season, I don't even think we're pushing for playoffs. I think we're pushing for top two because, let's be fair, in recent weeks, Coventry's dipped and there's been an opportunity for somebody to go and step in. But unfortunately, we are where we are in mid-table, top half. That'll do for me. But yeah, the league games we've played really well. We got a win at Stoke as well, didn't we? And we beat which was a decent win as well.
Okay.
And Birmingham as well, Leicester.
Yeah, Connor, our Oxford podcast wasn't very happy with you guys, of course, because the abandonment of that game. It's bizarre, isn't it, that a club with undersoil heating and in a championship level, it gets called off, especially with that late notice.
Yeah, it was. I mean, frustrating for us as well. I mean, you got to look at it. They've not got a manager. They're a poor side for championship level. No offense to them. They're always going to be sort of fighting relegation near the bottom half. Especially when we're in good form, you want the game to come thick and fast. You want the next game to come the next day if you could, so you can get that other 3 points on board. And I'd have much rather us played that and then postponed like cup game today. But as Wilder said, it were a malfunction with technology for undersoil eating. You've got people blaming United. It was referee's decision. It's not to do with United. We obviously, it's down to us with the undersoil eating problem, but the ref made the call and it was on him. There's nothing really much else we could have done regarding that sort of thing. So we take it on the chin, it gets rearranged, and hopefully we can still get the 3 points. But if anything, it benefits them more. They're probably going to have a manager in. Potentially might have a better game plan to come to the lane. Who knows? So they can complain all they like, but it's our hands, isn't it? It's just one of them exceptional circumstances.
Okay, let's talk about some of the rumours and transfers that have happened, Shexon, since we last spoke. We've already mentioned Harrison Burrows' transfer bid being rejected. However, Hoover has joined on loan from Wolves. What do we know about this signing?
Yeah, I'll quickly go back to that with Oxford. If they think undersoil eating not working is bizarre, I think it's bizarre having a car park for a stand. and it's Oxford. You know what I mean? That's saying like stay in your lane. You're not even a championship club. So go back to playing in League 2 or League 1 or wherever it is you play. And your game would have been called off anywhere if you'd have been at level that you should have been at, which is like park football. Like I said, you've got a car park for a stand. So don't become in that one. Just get back on your course, go home. You'll get refunded and come back again, and we'll beat you when we play you anyway. So it's irrelevant when we play you, we'll beat you. So right, moving on to Ivor, whatever his name is. I thought it was terrible today, but it was part of a terrible side today. And it's going to be difficult to dislodge Sariki, whoever you are, and I think it's going to be one of them where we're sort of comparing him with somebody that we all like. I mean, Connor, I know Dan likes Sariki. I'm sure Connor likes Sariki. So I love him, and it's going to be one of them where it is sort of like, you know what I'm saying. The competition that he's up against is really, really difficult. So he's going to have to be out of this world for me, Dan, Connor, that just us three, to think he's even anywhere near Sariki. So if he's just coming in as a backup, yeah, we all agree we do need a backup, but I'm not expecting him to play that much. I'm just literally expecting him to be there if Sariki needs him to be there, which hopefully, fingers crossed, is not very often, because I really, really rate Sariki.
Okay. Let's talk about Ryan One, shall we? Dan, Rotherham have been wanting, or rumours are that they want him to go on loan. Is he better staying at United, or do you think he's better going off on loan somewhere in League 1?
Yeah, I think he's better off going on loan, because obviously that it were clear today that he weren't even on bench. So I think that's for his development, for him to go and get games. I think there's probably better potential in him than potentially when you look at a Solo and Jebison. I think there's great potential there, but again, he's got to be going and playing. And if he's going to go to Rotherham, because I think Rotherham last couple of years he had Femi Sariki, didn't use him, and look how that worked for them. They've got one of our lads on loan now, Baptiste, who's only just really started playing for him. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be a good move for him. I prefer him to go somewhere like Barnsley, who are probably at the top end of League 1, trying to get out of it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's best for him to go out on loan and see what he can do. It's better than him sat around and not getting in our side.
Okay. Let us know other rumours. Any other rumours that you've actually all heard? Put them in the comments, please, as well. Any other things happening? Ins or outs?
Nothing really.
No, it's quite quiet.
One thing here and there. I think it's most of the concrete, well, not rumours, actual transfer activity has been about Wilder putting the AI transfers, if you'll call it, available for loan. So hopefully we can get some of them off books, and it frees up a bit more wages and funds to get some much needed squad players in.
I think he's tried to get. He were working hard on getting Patrick Bamford nailed down, and he's signed an 18-month, which is quite good. I think there's another academy boy that's come through, Louis Marsh, that's looking to move on. But other than that, I think we might try and get a few Premier League loans in, and the squad's big enough. I think we need to chop a few, to be fair, as well. Yeah. Some of the other senior boys that are not getting a look in.
We'd take a die back, Mark, if you're not using
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, if we can have him. If you didn't watch our game this weekend, then you'll see that we're desperately missing him. I don't ask this, Shax, but we'll finish off this. Ben Godfrey and Louis Barry have also been sent back to the
What a
parent
shame.
clubs. Thoughts on those two, Shax?
Louis Barrett, I'm not going to be as harsh on him. I think he were a Sellers signing. He's played under Sellers before. I think he's had a bit of bad luck with injuries, and I think he's just wrong place and wrong time. I don't think there is an half decent player in there. Whether or not it's in Championship, I'm not too sure. But he just looked a bit like a rabbit in headlights, bit small. He's come in, and then everything around him's changed. He is still a young boy, so I'm not going to be as harsh on him. I do wish him wherever he ends up. I hope he does all right, because he seemed all right, and he didn't do all wrong. He was no worse than rest of them. It's just that he's on a loan and you can sort of cut it short. Whereas with a few of them, you've sort of stuck with him. But Ben Godfrey, I don't even know what to say about him. If he were a dog, you'd just put him down, wouldn't you? He's just pointless. I don't even know what he is. Is he even a footballer anymore? I don't know. He's just how he's on 50, 60, 70 grand a week or whatever he's on. I've got no idea, because Atalanta or whatever they're called, they're paying him, they don't use him. Send him on loan to us. I don't know what we're paying percentage-wise or what we were paying. We didn't use him. He seems to have just fell off a cliff, but like I said, if he were a racehorse in a top jockey's, top racehorse owner's state, he'd just be shot, wouldn't he? He'd just be put down. So I can't see a future for him in football. Just like if you were an horse, you wouldn't see a future for him racing. He's done. So good riddance.
Wish them both well then. Let's get into the fixtures then, still to come in January. 4 games in January then, 2 away to come next, Dan. Charlton, as you've already mentioned, on Saturday, and Southampton to come midweek. Tough one that'll be. And then Ipswich to come to the Lane, and Millwall away. In terms of league positions, doesn't really get much tougher than this, Dan, does it? In terms of playing away from home against some big squads there.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of his toughest months. I mean, Millwall, Southampton, Charlton, and then what we got, Ipswich and Middlesbrough at home. I think if you get 9 points from them, you're well happy, aren't you? Really, but I think we've got the squad to do it. We've proved we've got the squad, and with some of the results we've had, we've proved we've got the squad and the team to do it. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. But like I said, let's see what points we can get. I think we know Ipswich are doing well now at the top at the top of the table. But we'll see. I mean, I don't see any reason we can't beat Ipswich and Middlesbrough at home. But we'll see what happens. I think it is the toughest month, though, to be fair. And if we can get a couple more players in, and we'll see what's what.
Okay. Of course, the Charlton game, Connor, is the reverse fixture of when Wilder returned back in September. Do you own one for that one?
I won't really say so. No, I mean, I feel like we are better away from home. So I think with having 3 games away from home, I think that suits us a bit more. I don't know what it is, but Bramall Lane is just eerily silent no matter what score is. If we're 3-0 up or 4-0 down, it's the same atmosphere. And I do think that affects the players. I think when you've got a stadium bouncing, like everyone says, it's like a 12th man. But at Bramall Lane, for I don't know how long, it just seems to get quieter and quieter. And I think playing away from home really does suit us more. It's more obviously on the home fans to make the noise, and you do usually get a better atmosphere in an away end than you do home end. So I think playing the likes of Charlton and Southampton and Millwall, they'll all be tough games. Don't get me wrong, but the way we're playing, and not today obviously, but the way we're playing in terms of when the actual first teams are, and you've got Bamford up top and Tanganga in team, and I really don't see us having a problem with giving anyone a game, but it's just the same problem. We seem to only play football for, say, maybe 30, 40 minutes rather than 90 minutes. And you don't know what team's going to turn up. Sometimes we're unreal first half and then we don't allow we play football next. So I don't want to say we're going to get 12 points, but I'd love for us to go out and, especially these big sides, we always seem to play better against the teams that actually try and play football against us rather than just stick every man behind the ball. So I think we'll have a positive January.
Before you head off, we want you to add a like, please, if you've enjoyed listening to any of the content this week, and also if you haven't yet subbed, please do so as well. We're very close to 1,000 subscribers, which would be absolutely amazing to hit for the end of the season. So do that. We'll be with you every step of this 21 games left now of this season. We're well over the halfway point. And yeah, I just got a funny feeling that we'll be discussing the P word quite a bit more as we head towards Easter. Fingers crossed anyway. Right then, let's do the A to Z of Sheffield United. We're up to the letter L. If you haven't been watching, this is one player or one event in Sheffield United's history that belongs for each letter of the alphabet. Surnames only, of course. So, anyone got a decent suggestion for the letter L?
Matthew Lawton. He were academy player, come through academy, went on loan to one of the clubs we were affiliated with for a bit, and even Sheffield FC, and then got into the first team, made a decent career in Premier League with Villa and Burnley as well, and I absolutely loved him when he were with United. So I'll go with him.
Okay. Shouts. Any more?
Man were Loughton as well, so Connor just nicked me lines on it.
He were all one I could think of. There's loads of other players, but
I were going to go for Loughton for exactly the same reason that he's a Sheffield lad, Sheffield United fan. So I think when you do that, a bit like Billy Sharp, you went at Arblaster, even when you do that, when you come through all them age levels and then you get to play for your boyhood club, then go on to play Premier League like he did, then I think that's an extra shout. So I were going to, whatever Connor said is literally just, I'm sure he's read what I was going to say.
The only other one notably is Lundstrom, but just for the way it ended, he obviously got the promotions with it, but the way it ended, we cannot include his name. And everyone else, you had bit part players like Glenn Little and Dan Lafferty and all these random players that just weren't enough. And Lawton, for me, he's only one.
Okay. Any more, Dan?
Yeah, again, Matty Loughton. I was going to say, like Connor just mentioned, I was going to say John Lundstrom for his part in the promotion, and Danny Lafferty again. They were part of really good teams, but I think Matt Loughton, born and bred here and a Blade, and unfortunately his career seems to have took a bit of a nosedive. But yeah, fabulous player for us. Moved on, did well, had a good career. So it's Matty Loughton. It is.
Thought you might have gone with Andy Liddell. No.
I tell you what, it could take a penalty. Could take a penalty, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I'm sure they've missed some, as you always do. In the comments, please, down below, let us know who they have missed. Right, you three, enjoy the trip this weekend. We'll catch up with you in 7 days' time, of course, on the other side of this away game this week. Thank you very much all for watching. We'll catch you in 7 days' time. I think the season's got a lot more to give. Catch you then.